Like Ronald Reagan's wife Nancy Reagan on a film set, sometimes humans just suck the life and enjoyment out of everything. Such is the case for the humans in the Transformers movies. Maybe it was because my introduction to the Transformers franchise was the amazing, brilliant, more than compelling than it had any right to be, Transformers Beast Wars. No. This is not me promising a video on Transformers Beast Wars. I am so behind on videos that I'm surprised anyone is left on this channel. There are people left on this channel, right? Oh god, this video is going to get 5 views. Maybe it's because most of the humans in these movies sucked. Regardless, it didn't matter to me if it was a good Transformers movie, like the people who enjoyed the first Michael Bay movie with the dude from Even Stevens and the girl from Jennifer's Body. Great movie, fun movie. Give it a watch for the girlies and for Patrick Star dropping the coldest line in cinema.
You hear me, you bastard? I'll cut off your nutsack and nail it to my door! Like one of those lion door knockers rich folks got. That will be your balls!
Or the Bumblebee movie that everyone liked with, I'm gonna be real with you, Chad, I don't remember anything about that fucking movie. Apparently it was good, not hating on it, yeah, I don't remember anything about it. I think Angela Bassett was in it, and god damn, she is fine. Where was I? Oh yeah, Transformers. If you're a human in the Transformers movie, I lose all interest faster than Disney did with the Acolyte. Good night, sweet squid prince. Side note, before we get any deeper into this video, I want to give a special shout out to the people that made today's video possible, and that make every video possible. Molly, Steffi, Lola, Jason, Rhea, the Cloning Boy, as well as all these great supporters to the channel below. I cannot believe you people are still here. Sometimes I question your sanity, but by the grace of the old gods and the new, I'm really glad you're here and I appreciate it. Your faith in this channel is honestly why I keep coming back. I don't know what I would do without you guys. And if you've given up on me, that's fair. I will work hard to earn your trust back, or I'll break into your house and hide under your bed, whichever I manage to do first. Like Ridley Scott, I just hated the sight of humans, but for me, it was in the Transformers films and not in life in general, because Ridley Scott is fuck you old.
Fuck you, thank you very much, fuck you, go fuck yourself.
So when I heard that we were actually getting a Transformers movie without any humans, I was happier than Boeing finally figuring out they killed all the whistleblowers. Then I saw the trailer for Transformers 1, and to put it simply, I lost all interest because the film looked like booty cheeks. And after that, I didn't think about the movie for I don't know how long. So imagine my surprise 5 months later when I was doom scrolling on Twitter, I'm not calling it X, and I saw lots of people I trusted praising Transformers 1. Now it's basically become a trend to have lots of crowds on Twitter celebrating cinematic trash. But this time it was different. People with at least 2 working brain cells, people who I enjoy talking to, people who I actually think have some media literacy, were pushing for the movie and calling it great. And this wasn't some weird artificial social media campaign to make people engage with the movie only based on its own controversy. And the fact that I'm not talking about one singular film, show, or game says a lot about the current landscape media as far as marketing goes. Sorry about that, I had something cut on my throat.
2 hours later.
The first thought I had when walking out the cinema was, oh my god, I have to go to the bathroom, why did I drink so much water? The second thought was, now that is how you make a Transformers film. And the final thought was, I hope the filmmakers behind Transformers 1 can give the marketing team the sword for how bad of a job they did selling this movie. Transformers 1 is fucking amazing. Not just amazing, probably the best Transformers movie made in decades. I know. The bar is in hell when it comes to good Transformers movies these last couple decades. The best compliment I can give the live action films was Steve Jabalans, how the fuck do you say his name? Steve! Yet, when it came to Transformers 1, it really did feel like I was back to Transformers Beast Wars like in my childhood. Not because the story was the same, not because any of the voices were the same, not even because the characters were all the same. What brought me back was the feeling I first got actually giving a damn about this franchise and wanting more of every moment I watched. There is a lot to love about Transformers 1, but what really sells it for me, and I think what's selling it for so many other people, is Chris Hemsworth as Orion and Brian Tyree Henry as D16. They are the heart of this movie. They are what makes me invested in the story. The relationship between those two are what carries the beginning, the middle, and the ending of the film, which personally I wasn't expecting. I am used to Transformers movies hyper-focusing on the humans, or just trying to carry a plot with the characters remaining static and stagnant, but here the Transformers don't just get a chance to shine. They fleshed out characters for the first time in literal decades. To circle back to the characters Orion and D16, if you've seen any talk about the movie or know your basic Transformers lore, you should know that there is more to them than meets the eye. Get it? That's a pun, like the song. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Get it?
Get back to the fucking video.
Go back to the Winds of Winter, Rob Stark. I would honestly suggest going into this film blind. Don't worry about the marketing. It is more worthless than the MCU giving a release date to the Blade reboot.
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
Spoilers for Transformers 1. Orion and D16 aren't just lifelong friends, allies in the heart of the film. They're actually lovers. I'm kidding. I actually know AO3 exists, and I know those two are being shipped together. If you don't know about shipping, congratulations. I envy you. They're characters that have been linked together throughout Transformers history. Orion, if you can't tell, is Optimus Prime, and D16 is Megatron. Side note, if Brian Tyree Henry is playing Megatron, does that mean Megatron can say Nick?
FBI, open up!
There are so many stories at this point that are built around the iconography of knowing the iconic hero and villain of the franchise, but something that makes Transformers 1 so special is that instead of a movie already starting with Megatron and Optimus being enemies, being ops, or Megatron being some undercover villain, the movie does something worse. It makes us care about Megatron even before he is Megatron. This is just as much his origin story with the Decepticons as it is Optimus and the Autobots. Like how Spider-Man 2018 showed us the close friendship between Otto and Peter, or Batman Telltale with the friendship between Harvey and Bruce, Transformers 1 makes us invested in the relationship between the hero and the villain before they were on opposite sides of the battlefield. It's what makes Otto, Harvey, and now D16's fall so heartbreaking. We're not introduced to these characters as villains. In fact, we get to watch our protagonists spend a lot of time with these well-meaning characters that want to do the right thing, that want to be by the hero's side. And that's what makes it even harder when we watch the story tear them apart and push them farther and farther apart till there is no reconciliation possible. Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry make this tragedy even worse. It feels like these two are great friends. You can feel the chemistry through their voice acting, which let me tell you, that is not easy. You have so many live action actors who are put into voice acting roles and they suck. Booty cheeks. They are terrible. It feels like these two are struggling to stay on the same page, and you can feel the betrayal, the hurt, and the disappointment both of these two have with each other from their choices. What starts out as a fun, lighthearted Transformers film that I thought was just going to be for kids turns out to be a devastating origin story filled with political strife, slavery, uprising, and I think those are the best films for kids, the films that show emotional maturity, because when those kids are older, they can go back to this film and enjoy what it did for them back then. It's what's been missing from the live-action Transformers film, and it's why even though those films made money, they've never managed to hit the same level of emotional maturity, never managed to resonate so much with what made people love Transformers as Transformers 1 does. I wouldn't call Transformers 1 a film for the deep lore fans that are craving content. Rather, it's something closer to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, a fresh, new take on a story that we all love that might not be the best representation for the people that have been studying deep layers of the lore of the franchise for decades, but something that is not just great as an entry point for new fans of the franchise, but it's an all-around entertaining, heartfelt, emotionally gripping film for long-term fans of the franchise that have fallen out of love and that miss when Transformers was, well, this. The animation of the film is stunning, the music is gripping and intense, the voice acting is incredible, Chris Hemsworth is great, Brian Tyree Henry is amazing. He is a scene stealer. That man he's just fucking incredible. Asian representation, Scarlett Johansson is good as well in the film, but she's always been a pretty damn good voice actress. And I've been gushing about it for the longest time in this video, but the writing, which I personally feel is the most important part of every story, is what makes this film what it is. Why Transformers 1 is better than the live action films than the leagues than I thought it ever had the right to be. If you have any love for the Transformers franchise or just want to see a great film, please give this film a chance. Go to the cinema, go online and talk about it, make your fan cams, make your fan fictions, make your crappy YouTube videos on channels that haven't uploaded in over 2 months. Oh, wait, that's me. Spread the word of mouth. Make people see this film. I won't lie and say Transformers 1 is perfect. I have a friend who is a deep lore Transformers fan and he didn't enjoy the movie at all. And there are shortcomings in the film, but to me there is more good than there is bad. And if a film has more good than it does bad, that is a good film to me. I don't need a flawless film to consider it good. I just need it to have more good than it does bad. For the first time since I was a little kid, I cared about the Transformers franchise again. And that might not mean much for the overall box office of this film that sadly is not bringing in much. But instead of doing what we all know the studio might do and kill any future plans to continue this universe or make any more animated Transformers films with this team, I hope the studio takes a chance and we get more. And I think that will only happen if enough people say how much they love this good film, because it is a great film. A guy can dream at least, right? If you haven't seen Transformers 1, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. While you're here, tell me your thoughts on the Transformers franchise. Did you watch Beast Wars? Are you a fan of Bayformers? Did the later films melt your brain like they did mine? Can you believe the year is almost over? Whatever your thoughts are, and I mean whatever they are, leave them in the comments below as tribute to the algorithm gods. To have something you've never had, you'll have to do something you've never done. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But that doesn't matter. All that does matter is finally living the life you can be proud of. The people who are meant for you will be on the other side. And if you stay true to yourself, you'll realize anything you've lost was meant for a person you've grown far beyond. I'm proud of you, and I know you'll make it. Drink your fucking water.